Alright, what?
What do you want me to do? Am I supposed to be taking a shot?
No. You were just telling me about the people that were supposed to be taking shots of.
Oh, so I showed up at fucking Riot Fest, right?
Yeah.
So, you know how there's
wait, but the story started with the people who are supposed to take shots with you here, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to take some shots at me here, but instead they smashed their face all over the fucking, you know, when you riot, you're all like, oh yeah! Well, instead of smashing their face with the party, they just kind of smashed their face.
Where is Riot Fest?
Riot Fest, it depends on who's starting it. It's stuck between Ohio and Now.
Ohio and Now? Like the place Ohio and the time Now?
Yeah.
Where's the in-between?
In between Ohio and Now.
Alright.
It's literally like, alright, Ohio in the dream state, and that you're talking about is a dream state, where the DMT is the dream brain, the dream chemical that's called DMT, where it starts up, where the DMT starts up the D, starts up the Deem, and the dream starts a dream, and then you don't even wake up and feel anything from the T.
It rhymes.
It's basically just tripping off of DMT, but you don't really get the same high, because you don't keep the DMT in your
dreaming.
Yes.
Alright, yeah.
So I did DMT and I dreamt for about 12 hours.
Today? No, not today.
Not 12 hours, not today. In like the last 2 weeks.
Alright.
And I was like, well, my head kept vibrating, but the rest of my body didn't. And I realized after talking to a friend, it was because I was trying to vibrate off of ecstasy. I was trying to get the high.
What's your frequency?
I do about anywhere between an eighth of alcohol, an eighth of medical, and about 3/4 of medical. And the 3/4 of medical is not my own fault. It's when I have a problem right around here, where I have a nerve that keeps hitting the wrong nerve that I keep trying to hit it in. I keep trying to hit it in my ball joint, but it keeps hitting the nerve.
Right?
Yeah, it keeps hitting them. I keep trying to get it to stomp into my right nerve, but it keeps building up in my right nerve. So every time I go to swallow the acid pain, my mouth fills up with nerve pain, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I swallowed this shit, and then I find out that I only swallowed like I swallowed the feeling of the edges of the pain. I felt like I basically swallowed like the curtain. I didn't swallow the actual show. I swallowed the before curtain.
What about the after show?
The after show. Well, most of my movies I watch all day on Netflix. And basically, I started out on Netflix and I finish it on Netflix. So normally, if my dad wants to watch one of my straightforward movies, as long as he catches it in time, he can watch the whole movie straightforward.
Have you ever made a home movie? What was in it?
What was in it? So this guy I knew throughout about 1st and 2nd grade disappeared.
1st or 2nd grade?
1st and 2nd grade.
Damn, both?
Disappeared.
What is the 2nd grade?
What was the 2nd grade? I don't know. I just know I kept seeing his flesh over and over.
His flesh?
For three years, the building was made out of the same material. This guy named Antoine's body.
The building was made out of Antoine's body? Damn.
Yeah, have you ever noticed how if you try to snap a bone, a raw, undefined bone is a lot harder and a lot thicker and a lot more intense to snap than if you took it in a bone and went snap.
It's harder to snap a raw bone than it is to take a regular bone and snap. What's a raw bone?
A regular bone is basically something you killed the rabbit and you pulled out from that rabbit's bone a thick piece of fur bone, per se.
Just to recap, a raw bone is a bone from something you killed.
It just hasn't had the chance to finish cooking.
But a raw bone is also a regular bone?
A raw, yes, because a regular bone is not differentiated
from a raw bone.
It's cooked. It has to have some sort of pressure pushing against it to push it in a certain form for it to be a rock. You know how most of loaf breads, after you figure out who did it, and there's a giant loaf, how suddenly a giant rock will come out of nowhere and cut like 2 of them niggas in half, but you'll never see that bitch again.
The Rock.
Yeah, I'm saying like in some movies, like how in one of his movies, the energy came up and they picked him up and it slammed him face first into the fucking rock, but it didn't care because it already had human DNA. So it was like, well, for every asshole you do, I'm gonna give an asshole back, and that'll give me a chance to see what the human civilization is like.
Oh yeah, can we step over here so I can hear you better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm gonna give you a chance to see what the human situation is like, according to how I attack the human civilization. Because he's one of those people who has like 5 different labs that I've been protesting him on since I was 4. He's got a lab for basically diving in and basically know people who are no one.
What?
Say you have a city-state. Well, if he wants it bad enough, he's gonna take about 5 step backs, run, and dive face first into it, and you're never gonna see it again.
Damn. Where did you grow up in Delton?
In the alternative schooling.
For sure.
I basically just watched all this shit go down. People in Delton have weird alternative motives.
Like what?
Alternative motives. And they refuse to let their alternative motives go at just having them. They're not the people who are like, oh, well, my stepson's in bootleg camp. Shit, I should let him go. No, they're like, oh, well, that's cool, your son's in bootleg camp. You cannot shoot him unless you shoot me, so I don't give 2 fucks because, you know, you can't kill him without killing me.
Damn.
And guess what? What? I'm gonna put a stake in your son's forehead. Why? Because I want to watch him drool for help.
Damn. That's fucked up. Who'd you hang out with in Delton?
Basically anyone who was already hearing voices.
Were you hearing voices?
I've always cheered for my voices. My voices have already been very gruesome. They've always been saying shit like, oh, well, jump this nigga and then slit his throat and drink his blood. Oh, well, I don't want to. Well, why don't you kill this nigga, slam him on the throat, slam his throat shut, stitch it shut, and drink his blood through his eyeballs? Because I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's good.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, why don't you do this? I don't want to. Well, why not do this? I don't want to. Well, you realize if you don't do this, you might die. Okay, well, I'm fine with dying because, like, honestly, I shouldn't exist in the first place. I'm an abomination to humanity.
I don't agree.
Well, I'm half demonic, half human, and a quarter of my half human part is also demonic.
So 3/4 demonic. What are they saying right now?
I'm basically, my ruling does not count. I no longer have any say in the in the battle towards humanity and darkness. My voice no longer counts.
What are the voices saying right now?
Basically saying that everyone's fucked. But
what are they saying about me?
What are they saying about you? You're as fucked as everyone else. It's really about the people, not about the symbols. It's about what's behind it, not what's starting it. You could be the greatest business person the light has ever known, but a darkness guy could tear you to shreds.
I agree.
Because everybody's different.
Everybody is different.
And I hope you survive. But I really feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and you're gonna be like looking at me and I'm like, hey, and you're like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you're like, oh, it's the military guy. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. I guess I have to, do something else.
You're not the military guy though.
I can't join them. The military said that I was too I was too A, high violence, and B, too resistant to the military. Because I'm one of those people who I abuse unless I see you collapse in front of me to believe that you're going to collapse. I only believe it if I see it, basically. Like if I feel, if you say, well, something's torturing me, I wanna see it. If you say you have a 720 B implant grab, I want to see it. Simply because I feel like I don't want A, you to get hurt, and B, to me to get fucked over.
What's a 720 bean?
When you do a full 360 degrees plus another full 160 degrees in the air with no one answering. They basically, you just jump and turn and people don't know what you're doing and you just land it and they're like, oh hey fuck, you just did a backflip, and you're like, oh yeah, I know, I just did a backflip and I landed it. You're welcome.
I thought you were doing a 720.
I was trying to. I'm still. All right. I've only skated in the last year and a half. I've skateboarded twice. The first time was me trying to take what I remembered and try. You know how it says that you should seal something like that in a book of memories. I tried to seal it in a book of memories for you, but the Cosmos didn't work like that, and they said, oh well, it's not gonna remember anything but the exact truth. So I had to seal it in a spell. I had to pull forth something and seal it right in front of it to show that, hey, I'm not lying. I can literally rise and seal stuff. I'm sorry, I was told that you needed to make dinner, so you have to stay here. It's not my fault. I have to go make lunch, and you have to go make dinner. In different times in the future and past.
I gotta go, man. You wanna say anything to end it on?
I love you, and hey, you know what? May the future engulf the past. See you later.